I'm live. I'm not sure if it's 1 p.m. yet. I think it is. Might have started a little bit early. Yep, there's nobody in here. Hi, Erin. You are the second person in here. Hello, hello, hi. Right on time. Everybody's right on time. So, as you guys can tell from the title, the big announcement that I alluded to on Instagram is that I'm going to Italy. I'm going to Sicily on from the 1st of June to the 3rd of June. I will be at Etna Comics participating in their YouTuber Alley event. So yeah, I'm gonna be in Catania, Sicily in those 3 days. If you wanna come say hi at Etna Comics, you can. Otherwise, maybe ci vediamo in giro, because I'm gonna try to like visit the city a little bit. Yeah, I'm super excited. I have never been to one of the Italian islands yet. Everybody knows that Sicily is gorgeous, so I can't wait to see it all for myself. Um, and yeah, so what do you guys think? I would love to come to all of these different places in Sicily, but I don't know. Since I'm going there for the event and they're like paying for all the arrangements, bringing me there and everything, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to have time to go to other cities. I'm probably gonna have to stay just in Catania, but obviously I do intend to come back to Sicily and see other places. Cool, Harry. Maybe we'll see each other. Please speak Italian. In realtà ho detto in un commento sul mio l'ultimo video che avrei fatto questo prossimo video in italiano e avevo completamente l'intenzione di caricare un vlog oggi in italiano, però alla fine è stata una settimana abbastanza impegnativa e quindi il vlog non è successo alla fine e quindi eccoci ora in questo live in cui parlerò inglese probabilmente. Wow, quanti di voi siete di Sicilia? Un sacco. Sì, un sacco. Non so se avete notato, ma il setup di questo vlog è completamente diverso di questo live, è completamente diverso di quelli che facevo prima. Ora uso il tripod così potete vedere le mie mani. I want to visit Calabria. I want to get to honestly ogni regione d'Italia. Non sono mai stata in Campania o Calabria ancora, o Sicilia o Sardegna o Molise. No, non Molise. Sì, Molise è la regione. I've been to Abruzzo and Veneto. I've been to Roma anche più volte di dovrei. You guys are writing too fast. I can't see. Let me see if there was a question in there. Yes, I am glad that you guys can see me as a Black person traveling around. I know that especially African Americans think that the world is this ugly place and America is the best place for people of color in the world. For sure, we're probably the most diverse, not even, because I think Brazil is way more diverse than America, the United States of America, but whatever. Even though we're probably way more diverse than other countries, I, as an African American, found that I had a lot more peace of mind traveling throughout Europe and living in Italy. So I'm glad that I can prove to people that as a Black American woman, you can go around and be happy. Yes, I'm going to Etna Comics in Catania. Sei pronta per mangiare? Io sono sempre pronta di mangiare, per mangiare. Ma ci sono gli arancini palermitani in Catania? I've actually already talked about mental health on my channel. There's a video that I did with Shanti on mental health in which I got super personal. But for some reason, if I make a silly video about like food or cultural habits, those videos go viral and they get super popular and everybody sees them. And if I do a topic that's more serious, unless it's about like racism or something super controversial, it doesn't really get much attention. So I actually have already done a video on mental health. I even think it's subtitled with Shanti. Shanti Lives. I think I made it about in November. And so yeah. Well, I am happy to hear that Nanny Life, who says she's an African American living in Italy and hasn't experienced any negativity in terms of race. Okay, you guys are going too fast. You should go to Naples per vedere la Gaiola. Sì. I hope to get to Naples this year. It's a little bit more complicated because it's far, it's expensive to get to, and since I work during the week, it's not I don't want to go to Naples for 2 days. Who goes to Naples for Saturday and Sunday? I would want to go to Naples for like a week so that I could be sure to see everything, and I haven't had a week to go. But I will at some point come to Naples. Lulu Panda Life, I think you are right. I do think that people come onto YouTube to disconnect and kind of escape into escape their everyday life and the everyday stress of life. So I can understand why more carefree videos are more popular. But I don't know, as a person that likes to think about things seriously, I would love if my more serious videos got more attention, but it's whatever, to each their own. Somebody fill in shining orange on what has happened since sono appena arrivati, o è appena arrivato, /a, because I don't know if you're a girl or a guy. Did I watch the royal wedding? Yes, I did. To be honest, I didn't care so much before yesterday. I honestly never understood the American obsession, or I don't even think it's an obsession, but the American interest in the British royal family. I mean, wasn't there a whole revolution so we could get away from them? I always thought it was pretty annoying. But then I saw this Facebook post by one of my friends who talked about the fact that honestly, this is history in the sense that, okay, I don't really see Meghan as a black woman. I see Meghan as a biracial woman, which she is. She's half black, half white. That could pass for white. I didn't know she was black until somebody told me she was black. But regardless of that, if this had happened 150 years ago, 200 years ago, Meghan would have been a slave. If this were 20 years ago, Meghan wouldn't have been able to kiss the prince on American TV. 60 years ago, Meghan wouldn't have even been able to marry the prince. So this is historical in the sense that somebody who 200 years ago would have been a slave in America could marry into the British royal family that literally colonized and exploited almost every continent on Earth. It's really crazy when you think about it from a historical context. And when especially, I feel like my generation and me as well, sometimes you just feel like the world is so shitty, and even though it's 2018, we just feel like, things aren't where they should be in 2018, but then you see something like Meghan Markle marrying into the British royal family, and you're like, okay, progress. So after I looked at it that way, after I saw that Facebook post of my friend that listed it out so eloquently as to why Meghan essentially made history, then I felt a little bit more personally invested, and I got swirled up into the whirlwind of the royal wedding, watched the whole thing, loved the whole thing. I didn't cry or anything, but I thought the wedding was beautiful. I thought she was beautiful, and I hope that they live a very happy life together. A happy, scandal-free life. Let me see some of the comments you guys made while I was talking. Somebody said that they didn't expect me to like anime and games if I'm going to end the comics. I'm going to be super honest. Right now, at this point of my life, I don't really follow anime, comic books, or anything like that. But growing up, I did, because my stepdad was a total game nerd, and he actually collected like board games and was really into like fantasy stuff and like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. And so I grew up in a household where comics were very present. I'm actually not so into Marvel. I'm way more of a DC girl. Batman, I think the Justice League are in DC universe. I don't know. So it's been a while since I've actually like opened a comic book, and I'm not really in that subculture, but I'm not completely whatchamacallit. I'm not completely out of the loop. And in terms of anime, from time to time I do watch stuff. I mean, when I was younger, Death Note was my favorite anime. I've seen Bleach. Right now I started watching this Netflix one called like Aggressive Sutu. I don't know, I've never pronounced the name out loud, but it's one of Netflix's new animes with the girl that works and rages and is into heavy metal, and it has all these kawaii cartoon characters, and it's really funny and too relatable. It's really too relatable. No, ragazzi, io vado in Catania. Ma perché stiamo parlando di città? Sì, Agretusuku. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but that is exactly the one. Love that show. Going through the comments. Okay, I don't know what that means. Oh, come on, Jacopo Cruciti. Why do you think that they're going to be divorced after 2 months? I mean, it could happen, but I'm not wishing for that. They seem very in love. He seems very in love with her. And I think she's very in love with him too. But I never take like actresses and actors, what they do, as something to judge them by, because they could just be acting. This live will be on my channel later for you guys to watch. Somebody asked that. Okay. It's kind of hard to like keep up with. Yes, I know about Abruzzo, and I know that it has basically the same reputation as Marche, but I think if I'm visualizing the Italian map correctly, Marche has the mare, and Abruzzo does not. But I've been to Abruzzo. We went to Gubbio. Don't you think that it was too fast? Not necessarily. I think that love is love. I know some people that have been together for years, and then they get married, and people grow up, people grow apart, and they get divorced. Meanwhile, there are some people that get married after knowing each other for a very short period of time, and they're together for the rest of their lives. So, I don't know. I mean, I did think the royal wedding came up like that. I didn't notice that it was already here, but I don't think that there's actually a time there's a perfect time frame of when to get married or not. Did I hear about the Texas shooting, and are you pro gun? I heard about it. I'm not really going to talk about it because I just feel like, what is the point at this point? There are school shootings in America every single day, and until Americans, and more importantly, no, I'm gonna put the blame on Americans, because we can blame the government all we want, but at the end of the day, Americans voted in that government. So until Americans want to wake up and deal with the problem's already gonna be always gonna be there. I'm heartbroken for the families as always, but I don't really see the point in me talking about it. Raise awareness for what? We all know about it. What do you think about the fact they spent a lot of money on the wedding, considering what's happening in the world, poverty, hunger, etc.? I wasn't really thinking about it in that sense. I liked the royal wedding in the sense that it was nice to see a happy story for just a second in this crazy world where terrible things happen every single day. It was nice for just 1 second to see a pretty wedding. In terms of how do I feel that so much money was spent on it, at the end of the day, though, that wedding created jobs. Here I am thinking about it in the economic sense. Imagine how many people worked to put that wedding on, and all those people got money, and so I can't ever be mad at creating jobs. See what I did there? I could be a meme. Somebody said, Monlis Yosef said it was a fairy tale wedding. Would I like to have a wedding like that? I think that the little girl in every girl, actually no, it's better not to generalize. I think a lot of girls want a wedding like that. The wedding was absolutely beautiful, but as I've gotten older, I used to be one of those girls that wanted a super big wedding with an amazing dress and thousands of money spent on my special day. But as I've gotten older, I'm going to be okay with a wedding that maybe doesn't cost tens of thousands of dollars and doesn't have hundreds of guests. I would be okay with a small wedding with the people that are closest to me and my future husband. And I would also not like to break the bank on my wedding, because I feel like investing in other things like a house are more important. Potresti parlare in italiano. In realtà ho già parlato in italiano all'inizio di questo video. Io non penso che avrà tanto senso fare tutto questo live in italiano, perché la maggior parte della mia audience capisce inglese, quindi tutte le persone che mi state chiedendo di parlare in italiano non ha tanto senso, mi dispiace, devo parlare in inglese. Have you ever thought of doing an ASMR video where you answer comments, Jackie Ina style? I have, because a lot of people have told me that I have a really calming ASMR type voice, but I don't feel like I have the right setup. I don't have a good mic or anything like that, so I don't know. What do you think is the biggest problems Italy is facing today and the ones that affect you as a person of color? I think the biggest problem that Italy is facing today is definitely economic. It is so hard and annoying having to deal with the economic situation, the lack of jobs, and all the repercussions from that. I really don't feel like any of my problems that I have here stem from the color of my skin. I think they all stem from Italy's economic situation. For example, right now, I graduated in September, and I'd like to take the next step in my life. And usually the next step in somebody's life after graduation is getting a job so they can start to plan for a family, start making future plans. And while YouTube does make me a good amount of money, and I could work online and make a decent amount of money, I would like to have stable money because YouTube you can make a lot one month and then not so much the next month. And so that's when I started to think about pursuing a more traditional career, which was why I accepted to do a 6 month internship in a big company. Now, my 6 month internship ends next month. So, since about last month, the end of last month, I started looking for a real job and a real job, a more traditional job. And while I've been getting a lot of interviews and there are opportunities here, I just can't really adapt to the situation of exploitation that is here. Like, if you work in Italy, no matter who you are, black, white, woman, male, Italian, foreigner, if you put yourself into the system of working in Italy, you're gonna get exploited. And it's something that's really hard to accept. The amount of work you have to put in for the kind of for the remuneration that you get back. Uh, I also feel like Italy isn't a place where people are rewarded or incentivized to succeed. I feel like it's just a really hard situation. And to answer the initial question, I feel like Italy's biggest problem is economical, and I don't know if that situation is ever going to get better. Let me see if I can find an interesting question. I'm not going to live in Sicily. I'm just going there for 3 days. And 500 euros a month is kind of crazy. You would never be able to survive on that in Milan. Uh, for example, the reserve supply of labor, that increase in number when in immigration. I don't know what you're saying. What do you think about diversity? Like, what do you think light skinned people are rude to dark skinned people? I think that living in Italy made me change a little bit the way I see diversity because when I went to school here and I was surrounded by many different people, I realized that diversity wasn't just about skin color. It wasn't just about black and white, but diversity is also male, female, and diversity is also based on nationalities, and diversity can also be based on different regions. It's not all necessarily down to the color of your skin. So for some things, Italy is quite a diverse place. There are a lot of people from many different countries here. Yes, me and Enrico are still together. Um, there are people from many different countries living here, uh, and there are many different cultures, like you said, in Italy. Skin tone wise, I don't think Italy is the most diverse place. That's changing, but 99% of the people here are still Caucasian. But yeah. Mm. When you're coming to Bologna, we've got good food like ragu, lasagna. Good. Yeah, I've been to Bologna. Tia, what do you think about Italian political situation now, and what do you expect to happen in the future? I haven't really been following the Italian political situation. I think it's insane that elections were like almost 3 months ago, and I don't know, there hasn't even been decided an actual government. So for 3 months, the Italian government has, I don't know, have they made any laws in these past 3 months? Has any actual work been done in these past 3 months? I don't know. That's crazy to me, but I'm not Italian, and so I'm not gonna make any more comments other than that. Me and Enrico moved in together like a year ago. What job are you looking for a stable uh, income? All the jobs that I've been looking for are in like marketing and digital realm. Um, there are actually quite a few jobs in Milan for this because of all the cities in Italy. I think that Milan is where most of the big companies are concentrated, and those are the companies that are looking for investing in digital marketing. So, no, I feel like there are more opportunities than I expected in working in Milan, but those opportunities just aren't so great. I don't know. How are you going to pay a college grad the same exact wage as a commessa? I mean, no offense to commesse, but I feel like people went to college for a reason, and if you're gonna just make the same, what's the point of going to college or trying to do more with your life? I don't know. Like I said earlier, I just don't feel like Italy incentivizes progress. I don't feel like Italy incentivizes young people trying to go to move forward in life. And plus there's also a really big whatchamacallit, there's a really big bias against young people. Like the second that I say my age to a potential employer, you already see the whole ambiance in the room shift. Even though I still have all the experience I have despite my age, people are really ageist here. So yeah. The predominance of Catholics in Italy is worrying. Tia, what is your religion and which religion will you choose for Enrico to marry you? Catholic, Mormon? To be completely honest, religion is not a big thing in my life, and that question doesn't really apply to me. Even, no comment. Would you ever move back to the States or do you prefer to stay in Italy? I 120% prefer to stay in Italy, but if I need to move back to the States to make progress in my life and my career, then that's just temporarily. If I need to move back to the States temporarily to progress in my career and my life, then that's what's gonna have to happen. Ciao from my Connecticut. How is it over there? I bet the weather is beautiful. Okay, yeah. You can ask for age during an interview. Y'all, here in Italy, they ask you everything in an interview. They ask you what, they like to ask women if they're gonna get married. I haven't got that question yet, but I've heard it's very common to be asked here. They always ask me, what are your future plans? Do you plan on going back to school to get a magistrale? And I honestly don't know what answer they're expecting from that, because the typical American path when you study business is get your bachelor's in business while you're studying for your undergrad. You get your bachelor's in business, and while you're studying undergrad, you rack up your internship experience so that when you graduate from business, you can get a job immediately somewhere in business, and then later on, like 26, 27, you go back to school to get an MBA, which is literally a master's in business administration. And I don't know, most people that study business, this is their path. So given that I did my internships, I did my bachelor's, I have intentions to go back to school to get my MBA, I really don't know what they're expecting and why they ask me that, or what they want me to say. I always say what I just said. And after I say, per me è più importante fare esperienze lavorative e poi dopo probabilmente tornerò all'università per fare un MBA. I don't know why they always look so, I don't want to say disappointed, but it just doesn't, I can never tell the body language of these interviewers and if I'm saying the right thing or not. So in that sense, interviews in Italian suck, because I don't know if what I'm saying is good enough for them. But have you ever think about creating something by your own? Yes, and I actually have done that. And since I'm in Italy, it was too hard. It was a mess, and it just seemed easier to do traditional work for right now so that I could save up money to do something on my own in the future, because Italy is not a country that's very good for startups. It's not a country that helps young people do their own thing, as I've kind of said. So yeah, I have thought of doing my own thing, and I have tried doing my own thing, but it's too hard in this country right now. So it's easy to get interviews but not jobs. I mean, I haven't had a job yet. I haven't gotten a job offer yet. I don't know how easy it is to get interviews. I just know that it was pretty easy for me. I've been thinking that it might be an qualification thing too, because at this point, I went to one of the best schools for my field. I also have experience studying in America. I have experience working in America. I have experience working here. I just finished an internship at one of Italy's biggest companies, and I don't know what else. I speak Italian. I, I don't know what else could be the problem aside from or being overqualified or them being completely ageist. So I don't know. Uh, I'm doing interviews until I finish my internship. And if by the end of the internship nothing comes up, I'll obviously continue doing this. I did get a call back the other day for a freelance position as a digital project manager, and actually it sounds awesome because the whatchamacallit, the wage would be like 1,800 a month, and 2 days a week I'd be able to work from home. But it's freelance, and you can just never trust that in Italy. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Right now, I'm kind of open to whatever, at least until Enrico graduates. We're here. If I still don't find anything by the time Enrico graduates, I'm sorry, y'all, but we're probably going back to America to work. I love Italy, but I can't eat love. I can't buy things with love. Mm-mm-mm. Torno a vivere in America. Yeah, in America, people by the age of 22 are already in the workforce, already like building their lives. My friends back home that are a year older than me are already buying houses, are already like getting, investing in assets. Mm, for a while, I felt cool because, since the laurea here is 3 years and the bachelor's in America is 4, I had a year where I was graduated. Yeah, I was graduated before everybody in my age group, and I felt so cool. But now that I see all the graduation posts on my Facebook feed, and everybody's like, oh yeah, I just graduated yesterday and got a job offer at PwC for tomorrow, I'm kind of just like, but I love Italy. I don't know. I mean, I'm not in a terrible position at all. I mean, my financial situation is fine, but I think it's the flaw of comparing yourself to other people and comparing yourself to the standard that society says. Because society, American society, says, okay, well, you need to graduate by this age, you need to be doing this by this age, and this needs to be happen by the time you're that age. When really, that's not the key to happiness at all. I mean, if I had followed the American, the American path, I probably would have gone to a really good school in America, but I'd graduate right now with maybe $60,000 or $80,000 of debt minimum. So I don't know. At the end of the day, I think that, like I said, Enrico still has a year until he's gonna graduate. I'm gonna try to make it work here in the year, and if it doesn't work out in a year, me and him can go to the States. Here in Italy, the graduation doesn't guarantee any position relief. Is in America different? Is doing a career in the United States more easy? Making a career in America is 120 times easier than in Italy, for sure. If you choose to move back to the States, would Enrico move with you? Ideally, I mean, if we're still together, yes. Hi Tia, will it be easy? Will Enrico will be able to work in States easily? If we get married, yeah. I don't know where this fly just entered into my house from. You normally graduate at 23. That's not such a big gap. No, in America, you graduate with your bachelor's at 22. All of my friends are graduating right now. Um, and in Italy, you graduate at 23, but like other people have just said, in Italy, the norm is to go right into getting a master's right after your bachelor's. So people actually finish with school around 25. Why don't you try to get a job in a marketing agency? There are plenty in Milan. No, some of the interviews that I've done have been in marketing agencies, particularly digital marketing agencies. Um, it would be fine. It's just a matter of I need to find something that is going to pay me that stable income I want, but still allow me to do YouTube, because I feel like it would be kind of useless for me to leave YouTube, because I've noticed that YouTube has been giving me way more opportunities than my degree actually. I feel like my degree gets me into the interviews, but then when it comes down to the experience needed for the job, all of the necessary experience comes from running this YouTube channel. All the skills like copywriting, editorial planning, graphic design, video editing, all of the things that are asked for of a social media manager or a digital project manager, I've gotten from this YouTube channel. So I really am close to this YouTube channel. I don't want to close it because I've learned everything I know from this, in addition to the fact that YouTube pays me more than an average job would. But like I already said, it's a stability issue. YouTube can do really well one month and really poorly another month. On average, I make more than any other job. But from what I've seen in these last 6 months of having fixed income plus my little stuff, it was way better. So ideally, I would be doing both. Do you think that university adequately prepared you for your future job? Nope. The most useful thing that I learned from university that I actually use every day in my job is Excel. Everything else I learned from this channel, from managing this channel. But then again, that's just my field. I'm into, like I said, digital marketing, social media, which is really new. There aren't even a lot of degrees based around that. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say that getting a degree is useless. It's not useless, because at the end of the day, it still filters out people. Every job that I've applied to, there has been one of the requirements was at least a laurea triennale. But have you ever tried mentioning I actually include my YouTube channel on my CV, and in every interview that has been the most important aspect of my CV, because like I said, for most of the jobs I'm applying to, the relevant skills are coming from this channel. At a recent job interview, they asked me if I had a portfolio of my work, and I was like, well, you guys can look at my YouTube channel if you want a portfolio of my work, because like I said, there's copywriting on my channel. All of the descriptions and comments, you can see how I write there. Community management, I get hundreds of comments every single day, and I have to, in some way or another, manage them. I have consistency with my videos. I plan all my videos. I know how to make an editorial calendar. Everything they want, they can see. I've demonstrated through having this successful YouTube channel, and people are always pretty impressed by my YouTube channel. My current internship that I'm at this big Italian company came from this YouTube channel. They found me via this. So yes, I do include YouTube on my CV. Maybe one day when I have more experiences, I'll take it off, just because I don't like the fact that I say a lot of stuff on this channel, and I feel like I have to censor myself a little bit if I'm factoring the fact that future employers are watching this channel. I would like to have complete freedom. So maybe in the future I'll take it off. But for right now, yeah, it's my most valuable piece to me is this YouTube channel. I feel like CVs are not that valuable to find a job. The most important thing is probably networking. Definitely. I found that when I was sending out CVs the regular way, like just applying to the job on their website or easy apply through LinkedIn, I wasn't getting any callbacks. And then one weekend, I tried this. I sent all of my CVs out, and in addition to that, for every job, I found another person that was like in that department or near that department. And I wrote to them and I said, "Hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm a recent graduate from blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. I'm doing an internship in blah, blah, blah. And I think I would be perfect for this position. Could you check out my CV and pass it on to the HR person?" And surprisingly enough, most of them did it, and I think that the 5 interviews that I landed in less than 24 hours came from using this method. And I've had interviews before that came from like being friends with somebody already in the company. It's the same in America as well. Networking, knowing people, reaching out, and making yourself noticed will get you into an interview way faster and easier than just sending your CV and nothing else. Come hai conosciuto Simply Tima e quali opinioni vi scambiate su Italia? I know her from the internet. And actually, when we're together, we don't talk that much about Italy. We mostly talk about like our lives, our relationships, um, stuff like that. But I feel like her opinion on Italy is very similar to mine. Do you have any hobbies? I do yoga from time to time. I like to go out to aperitivos. I don't know if that can be considered a hobby. And I like photography. I'm really getting into like taking photos, editing photos, and you can see all of this stuff on Instagram. But yeah, I like photography a lot. I think people are fighting. Are people fighting? What? I don't know. I can't find the beginning of this fight, but you guys, please don't fight. Let's be friends here. Wait, what websites do Italians use for job searching? I don't know what Italians use, but I've been using LinkedIn, Indeed, my school's job portal, and that's it. Um, let's see what else. The fact that YouTube gives you the possibility of making big money, university doesn't. I know, right? Has anyone ever noticed you when you're out? How do you feel about that? Are people who notice you Americans or Italians? Yeah, people notice me like pretty often. I don't know. I'm still not used to it. I say hi and I try to who do I block? It's a crucial place for immigration you would visit. Oh my gosh, what is happening? Who do I need to block? I can't the bit too fast. Can some I think they stopped. I think. There was like an argument going on in the comments. I wasn't really paying attention or looking at it because I was talking about something else and looking for other question. Okay. Okay, you're getting blocked because you keep saying inappropriate things. Let's remove you. How do I remove somebody from this live? For 300 seconds, huh? Ti parlaci delle differenze delle università in USA, nessuno va fuori corso diversamente dall'Italia, in Italia si laureano più tardi. I've talked in I've talked a lot about the differences in university here and there. Like I said, if you do everything correctly, I feel like you finish in the same place at the end of the day. Italians love to talk shit about American universities and whatnot, but then Americans graduate and get jobs. So I don't think that's very productive. Um, I feel like my American friends might have a little less of a theoretical background than I do. And I feel like my Italian classmates have a little less of practical knowledge than my American friends do. I think the strongest point, part of American culture and American university system is the fact that it allows you to work while you're studying. Because, like I said, for some sectors, for example, marketing or business, experience is way more important than that degree. Great, you read about management in a book, but do you have, one thing is that I've noticed in my interviews is that they always ask, okay, well, can you show us proof of this skill? Like I just said, I point them to my YouTube channel and directly they have examples of my copywriting, they have examples of my editing, they have examples of everything. Whereas Italian universities don't allow you to do that. Italian universities don't allow you to gain a significant amount of experience. At max, they'll let you get a 6-month internship in a company and then you graduate and that's it. A lot of people in my class, if they were applying to the same jobs that I was applying to, they wouldn't be able to get it, because with just a degree, most of the jobs that I apply to ask for 2 to 3 years of experience. And with all the internships I've done, plus this YouTube channel, I have about 3 to 4 years of experience in digital marketing, in fashion. Whereas if you're just graduating right now with just a laurea or a magistrale, a laurea and a magistrale, and no experience, already you're out of the running for that job. I wish that I could make my Italian friends realize how important it is to work, like to work, to gain work experience. Like, yeah, it's really great to have a master's and all, but trust me, if you have a master's and zero work experience, it's useless. Here, it's useless in America and UK and anywhere you might want to immigrate to, but it's also useless here in Italy. It is. I've never been turned away from a job because I wasn't qualified. Usually, I've actually every time I got not accepted for a job in the past, I'd always call and ask for feedback or email and ask for feedback, and they've always given it to me. And the feedback that I've gotten was that they went with somebody else, or one actually told me that they wanted somebody more senior, so it was literally my age. Another one, because there's been 3 so far that I've been outright rejected from, and there are 5 that are currently like in the process of them deciding, I guess. And it's never been because, oh my gosh, you didn't have a magistrale. Never. Never. Jobs are looking for people that are qualified and have experience in what they want you to do. I think, Nadia, the fact that you left and wanted to come back, I do feel like you can come back and create something. And that's exactly what I think I would do if I realized that there's like no opportunity here for me to work and accomplish the things that I want. I would go work in America for some time and then come back. Italy is always going to be in my life. I can't imagine not living in Italy. It would be really painful to go back to America and work in America, honestly. I think that it would take a psychological toll on me. But if that's what you have to do to have a productive future, that's what you have to do to have a productive future. But I would come back here for sure. Hi, Tia. Does your final graduation GPA matter to get a job in Italy? Nope. Of course, it looks good if you graduated with a 110 laude with honors. It's great to say, but I don't put my final grade on my CV and jobs never ask. Switzerland, I've thought about it. I've thought about it. The whole commute to Switzerland every day and come back. I've definitely thought about it, and it's definitely another option. But I noticed that they don't really have a lot of jobs in what I want to do. I haven't seen many jobs in marketing, digital marketing, stuff like that. I usually see things in like finance, banking, and just stuff that I'm not really interested in. People ask why I don't want to move to another country. Well, it took 4 years for me to get even remotely close to being comfortable in Italy. It took me 4 years to get where I am with the language, and every day I'm battling bureaucracy and cultural differences. I can't imagine starting over. And if I moved to Germany or even Switzerland, I would have to start all over. I'd have to learn a new language all over. I'd have to learn a new culture all over, and I'm not gonna do that. I can't do that. It's either Italy or USA. Maybe Canada. Maybe Canada. But I don't think I could move to another country and do this whole process again. So where have you applied to in the US? It was stress. So I'm excited to go back to what I was doing before, or taking on another role in another job and still, like, juggling both. Tia Wood, could you check out websites like Upwork, Freelancer to get leads even from the US companies? I'm not sure. I don't really know anything about that. Imagine you win a very large amount of money in the lottery. What would you do? Well, first of all, I wouldn't tell anybody, because that's when people are gonna come and start begging you for money all the time. I would invest that shit for a while, and then piano, like 3 years from now, I'd buy a house. And people wouldn't know that I bought the house from the lottery money. They'd think I just saved up a crazy amount from, working, right? Right? The only people that I maybe would tell would be my families. Oh my goodness. So, what would you suggest to do if you don't have experience for jobs applications asked for? I would definitely suggest that you I would definitely suggest that you try to gain experience in the field that they're looking for. And yeah, like if you are looking into something for social media, maybe you can try to work with other popular bloggers as maybe an intern or an assistant. That would be pretty cool. That's pretty much it. Wait, sorry, something a little bit distracting just came up, and so now I can't think. Tips for finding cheap flights. I'm not moving to Sicily. I'm literally just going there for an event. Okay. I think that I answered all of the big questions. We're about an hour in, and I like to keep these videos around an hour. So I think I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys all for joining, and I'll try to do a live soon. And yeah, it was nice. So bye, you guys.